In Washington, reporters have learned that a lot can happen on a Friday night when it comes to the Trump administration. This past Friday, Attorney General William Barr announced the resignation of Jeffrey Berman, the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York. That office is investigating some of Mr. Trump's allies, including Rudy Giuliani. Berman's response? He had no intention of resigning. Saturday, the Attorney General went a step further, sending a letter to Berman saying, "I have asked the president to remove you as of today, and he has done so." Berman then announced his departure effective immediately. President Trump had a different version of the firing.
We have a very capable attorney general, so that's really up to him. I'm not involved.
We want to go now to White House correspondent Paula Reid. Paula, why was there this confusion, and why hasn't the attorney general explained why he did this?
Well, as you heard there, the president saying he does not get involved in matters related to the Justice Department, but his own attorney general, Margaret, has said that the president's prolific tweets on matters related to the Justice Department make it nearly impossible for him to do his job. The special counsel laid out 11 possible instances where the president has tried to obstruct justice by interfering at the Justice Department, which is why many people are seeing what happened Friday through a lens of skepticism and raising questions about whether the president is trying to protect himself or his allies like Rudy Giuliani. But a Justice Department official says there was no connection between this firing and any ongoing investigation. But so far, Margaret, the Attorney General has not been able to explain why he gave that statement Friday saying Berman was stepping down when Berman said, wait, not so fast.
Well, and it's also unusual because the Southern District handles so many sensitive cases, including the one you just mentioned with the president's personal attorney, Rudy Giuliani. Last night, the president himself said he didn't know that.
That was very surprising.
I mean, not investigating me. And I don't even know about Giuliani being investigated. You're telling me that. I read that over the last day. But I don't know about Rudy Giuliani being investigated. Investigated for what? He was the greatest crime fighter of our generation, of our time.
But Speaker Pelosi released a statement saying that the investigation into Rudy Giuliani was connected here. What do we know?
Well, CBS News has learned that Giuliani has been under investigation by that office for possible foreign lobbying violations related to his work in Ukraine. And last night, Margaret, Giuliani told a reporter that he believes these two events could be connected, which are not helping the optics here. And one thing that's really significant is the Southern District of New York has always prided itself on being independent from Washington. And in his letter to Berman, the Attorney General specifically said that now the internal watchdog, the Inspector General at the Justice Department, will now have an oversight role of that office, suggesting they are clearly no longer independent.
There was another key ruling from a court that said former National Security Advisor John Bolton can actually go ahead with the publication and sale of his book about his time at the Trump White House. But the judge didn't actually make it a clear win. The president is saying it's actually in his favor.
Well, as you noted, the judge said that Bolton's book can be released, but he also accused Bolton of possibly damaging national security and exposing himself to civil and potentially criminal liability. Now, in this decision, the judge noted one of the reasons that he was going to allow the book to be published is that many reporters, including CBS News, had the book here at the White House while they were arguing about this. But the judge signaled that it's possible that Bolton may need to forfeit any profits. And historically, judges have been pretty sympathetic to the government. If they can establish that someone did not complete a review process, they may say, hey, you can release your book, but you got to hand over the cash.
Paula Reid at the White House. Thank you.